Hello, KenziiSims here, and welcome to this Sims 3 renovation video. So today I am in the world of Sunset Valley and I am renovating the Monotone house. So the Monotone starts off as a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and I do keep it that way. It stays a 1-bedroom and 1-bathroom house. It is a starter home, so it needs to stay under the budget of 16,500 simoleons because that is the maximum amount a single sim will have. If you move a couple in or a sim with a child, the budget changes and it's a bit more than 16,500, but I made sure this was less than 16,500. I can't remember exactly how much it came to, but some weird stuff was happening when I was going out into Edit Town again, saving the house and then coming back into it. The price kept dropping, so I could then keep adding in more and more stuff, which was great. And you'll see that as you watch the video that I keep towards the end just adding more and more bits in. And you might be able to see up in the left hand corner where it says furnished, the lot value there, that will keep going up and down. So I actually found out why this happened. When you first build a house, the game overestimates the price. It counts stuff from build mode that you don't actually keep, like partially placed objects, the undo and redo actions, and some other temporary costs. But when you save and reload your game, the Sims 3 basically refreshes everything and recalculates the real lot value based on what's actually there. So like your walls, your floors, your furniture, your landscaping, like literally everything. And then there's depreciation, which means objects lose a bit of their value after being placed. So when you reload the lot, the game updates all that, so the total lot value might drop a bit, but that's just it adjusting to the accurate price. So if your house seems cheaper after reloading, it didn't randomly lose value or anything. That's just the game recalculating everything properly. It's actually a cool little hack to get extra items if you need it. But anyway, the Monotone's description, it says, low in price but high in style, this house strikes the right chord. Will its new owner be a one-hit wonder or the next superstar? I don't really understand the last bit of that description. Maybe the Sims team had in mind that maybe you'd have like a musician live here, I don't know, but I basically want to keep these renovations kind of how they're described. So obviously the Monotone, black and white, so that's how we're decorating it, and then low in price but high in style, so I wanted to make it look stylish but obviously keep it under the budget of 16,500 simoleons. So that's what I did, and I really like how it turned out because it's quite modern, and obviously all the builds in, I was going to say in Sunset Valley, are not modern at all, but all the builds in like pretty much all of the worlds are not modern. They're all really old-fashioned because, as we know, The Sims 3 is many years old now, so yeah, everything is very dated. But that's why I'm here, to renovate as many properties as I feel like. So yeah, this is the Monotone, and I do really like how it turned out. I condensed it all down, made it smaller, you know, brought the walls in, which you would have seen at the start of the video. And then I tried to keep like everything as cheap as possible, but I also made sure to add in like all of the necessities you need and a little bit more. So in the bathroom, I actually put a washing machine. In the UK, typically a washing machine would either be in a kitchen or in a utility room, which is kind of like a laundry room. And I also made sure to put in, well, at first I just put literally the necessities and not even a table for the Sims to eat their food off, but I made sure there was a bed, obviously a bathroom, a kitchen and a sofa at least. But then when I kept going out and coming back in and the money was like dropping, like it was drastically as well, it wasn't just like a few hundred simoleons here and there, it was like a few thousands. So I was like, woohoo. So then I ended up putting in like a table and chairs. I ended up putting in a fireplace. I am able to add in like more decorations and my radiators I like, and my light switches that I like to use to make builds more realistic. I think I also add like curtains and blinds and stuff, which a lot of the time I do find it hard to put them in within a very low budget. So that's that. And there's nothing actually in the garden apart from a washing line. You don't really need garden activities, I guess, when a sim is starting out, because as your sim earns more and more money from either a job, a profession, or collecting things, or painting, or whatever skills they want to work on and, I don't know, earn money from, you can, I guess, quite quickly, you know, afford like a barbecue, a place to sit outside, some activities, and yeah, I just made sure at least the inside was decorated quite nicely. I mean, it would have been bland if I didn't keep coming out and going back in, and the lot value was going down. But then once that started happening, I decided to put more detail in, because I would rather you guys and myself, if I ever want to use this as a starter home, I'd want it to be like looking quite nice and detailed, and at least a little bit. And it's very hard to do that on a very low budget. So if I renovated this house for a couple, that would mean I'd have an extra £2,500 to play with, I believe. Or no, it's £2,000, because for a single sim the budget is 6,500. For two adult sims, it's 18,000, I believe, or 18,500. So yeah, an extra £2,000 I'd be able to play with, or you'll be able to play with if you do end up putting two sims in. But I just wanted to make sure I could at least get a single sim in, because I know a lot of you and myself do start off when we do let's plays or gameplay or whatever with one sim, and then you want to go and, you know, meet a partner, and you want to go and get married and have kids, and then you want to build onto the house. So that's another thing with this house. It's on a 20 by 30 lot, which the Monotone is originally on, and there is a lot of space to expand the house, which is good. So if you want to like build on bedrooms or whatever, you can. And yeah, I've just tried to make it a decent starter home, like I said, with everything you need. As you can see though, I have used a little bit of CC, and don't worry, you will be able to get all that CC with the folder that will be with the download. So let me just tell you where you can download this house. It will be on my Discord, and to get into my Discord there is a link in the description of this video, an invite that you have to click on, and then you can accept the invite to join my Discord server. And then in the category downloads, under the channel renovations, the download link and the CC folder will be there for you to download. So it's as easy as that. I thought it'd be easier for me to just include the CC I use as a download, instead of like making you go and click on a million links to try and download each and every single item before you download the house, because the last thing I want is for the build not to look anything like it does on screen now, because I know how irritating that is when you don't have somebody's CC. So there we go. So while I'm telling you about the Discord, I am also going to plug a couple of my other social media platforms. So the main ones I use are TikTok and Instagram, and that's mainly just to get my videos out there, because those apps are good for that, especially TikTok. But I do have like other social medias, you know, I've got accounts, but I very, very rarely post on them or use them. If I'm posting any like screenshots or polls or anything, it will always be on my YouTube posts tab. So where it used to be the community tab, it's now changed to posts. So that's where posts will be. So the links to all my social media platforms will be down in the description as well. They're all under the handle KenziiSims anyway, so I'm easy to find because every single handle on every single social media platform I have is literally KenziiSims. Now back to the renovation videos. So this isn't going to be like a series or anything. It's just going to be like an as and when thing, and sometimes I might not even renovate Sunset Valley builds, I might renovate some other world builds, but at the moment I just want to kind of start off small and do the starter homes because they're easier and quicker. But eventually I'd like to just do all random builds from random worlds. They won't be in any order, or like I said, a series where I do the whole of Sunset Valley or the whole of Appaloosa Plains, etc. It would just be random builds that I feel like renovating whenever I feel like renovating, because sometimes I just randomly open my game, have nothing to do, and I just feel like renovating. Because my favourite thing to do is not like the furnishing or the decorating or anything. My favourite thing is actually like making the floor plan flow a bit better, or condensing the build down to make it a bit smaller, or making the routing a bit better, or making it just make more sense. That's the kind of thing I enjoy when renovating builds. So basically, in a very long-winded way, all I'm trying to say is I love a fixer-upper project every once in a while. So I just want to give myself the freedom to do whichever builds I feel like in the moment. So that's hopefully something for you to look forward to, because I definitely am. I love renovating. Like I said, not keen on the furnishing, not gonna lie, but that's why I'm starting off small, because smaller homes are so much easier to furnish, I think, and especially when you go by the descriptions of the actual original houses and try to keep it along the lines of what they originally look like, but hopefully better and more modern. So that's what I'll be doing in the future, so that'll be fun. We're nearly at the end of the video now, so I am going to love you and leave you. So I really hope you enjoyed this build. Remember, the link is in the description to join the Discord to download the house with all of the CC, and I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Please like if you like, comment what you think, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Bye!